Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Just want to talk to you about chase driving with Draver, kind of what my experiences are. So I'll start off with my very first experience. So there's been times where I sign up for a drive and I wake up in the morning and there's no hikers to join you on the trip. So you're not driving anyone. In that situation, I've had to call the app and they'll try to find a driver. If they can't find one, they'll cancel the trip. Another situation I've been in is where I wake up, it shows there's a driver, I drive out to the location, I arrive, and I wait about 5 minutes after we were supposed to arrive there, and nobody showed up. I called the driver, the hiker, and he was like, "Oh, I didn't realize that was today. I have something going on. I can't make it. Bye." So I'm like, "What the hell?" I called Draver. They asked me if I could take the ride, and they would call an Uber for me for the deliveries. I said yes, and when I got there, there were some issues with the truck. Ultimately, I did not take it. I explained some of that in detail in my first video. Otherwise, if you have questions about that, uh, feel free to leave a comment, and I'll be more than happy to explain that to you. So, my first successful trip as a chase was I picked someone up and we drove, from Chicago to Michigan to Milwaukee, and back to Chicago, and it worked out pretty well. The only thing that I thought was included was fuel. You do not get reimbursed for fuel, um, but you do get paid 32 cents per mile plus depreciation, as well as tolls if you have tolls in your state. So one thing I recommend if you don't have a fuel efficient vehicle like a Hummer, do not use that vehicle. You're going to be paying a lot for gas. I spent about $100 on gas, but that I definitely made some money off of that trip. And you say, well, what about the new Hummer that's electric? Well, with electric vehicles, for instance, I drove about 750 miles. So you got to ask yourself, I doubt your electric vehicle is going to go 750 miles. And we say, oh, well, maybe I'll charge it. There's a very good chance you're not going to have time to charge it. You might have 10, 15 minutes to charge it at most, in between stops. That's if you're lucky, and that's if there's a charging station along your route. So definitely something I don't recommend is using an electric vehicle. If you don't get good gas mileage or you do not want to use your own vehicle, what some people do is they rent a vehicle. So you can go to Hertz, Enterprise, any of these companies. You can rent a car and you can use that. Rent it for how long as you want. If you want to use it for the week, pay a couple $100, rent it for a week, and as long as you use it for a trace vehicle, you will easily make your money back. Even counting for the cost of fuel, depending on your trip, depending on how much you paid for the rental, you could probably pay that in 1, 2 days. Considering you work, 5 or 6 days of the week, I have not seen anything for Sundays, so everything that I've seen that's been available has been Monday through Saturday when it comes to Draver. So that's one thing to consider. Um, Electric cars are not going to work, and you're not going to be paying for, um, sorry, even your fuel will not be reimbursed. So you are responsible for your own fuel. So try to get a fuel efficient vehicle if yours is not one, or if you don't want to use your own vehicle, use a rental. The other thing is you do get 32 cents per mile plus depreciation. So it's not bad. You'll see a flat fee, and in addition to the flat fee, you'll also get reimbursed for tolls if you are driving through a state that has that. So, for instance, Illinois, there are tolls everywhere, and there's an application which I will leave a comment, or I'll leave a link in the description of what that app is for Illinois. I don't know about other states. So what this app does is it allows you to track your tolls, and the good thing is it gives you the cash price of those tolls. So, which is more expensive than what you're paying with your iPass, Easy Pass, whatever it is. Illinois cash price is always more. So that's the nice thing is you're paying less for tolls in Illinois, but you get reimbursed more because you're giving them the cash price, which is awesome. Just make sure your location settings is set on when you're using the app, and then also make sure you actually have the app open because every time you will go through a toll, it will notify you, you know, that you've gone through the toll. And then once you're done with your day of driving, take a screenshot. You might have to use like a different camera, so you might have to, try to get it quick. If it doesn't let you upload directly from your phone, you might have to ask a hiker, hey, can you take a picture of this? And then ultimately, what you do is you just take a picture of that, and that's what I had to do. I couldn't upload it, but I've been told that you can upload sometimes, but not always. And so when you are able to do it, it's a pretty good experience. So that's kind of my whole thing with chasing. It's nice, it's kind of relaxing. You're in your own vehicle the entire time. It can be exhausting. I will say that. The one thing is when you are hiking is you can sleep in the chaser's car. No problem. No one's going to care. It might be, you might have 15 minutes or you might have a couple of hours between, picking up vehicles. So as a chaser or as a hiker, it's really nice that you're able to sleep. As a chaser, when you get there early, that's when you might want to get some rest. So that way you're not super exhausted because they are long days. It is your vehicle. Um, I've had to drive for a chaser as once before when I was hiking. We did a trip out to Nebraska. So this chase driver, we drove from Chicago to Nebraska and back. And, when we were in Iowa, he was really tired on the way back. So he asked me if I could drive a little bit, which I did. And ultimately made it back. So that's one thing to keep in mind when you are hiking is that it can be exhausting. And the other thing I would say is when it shows, oh, it's going to be 11 hours and 30 minutes, don't buy it. I would say caution on the side of error and add more time. So that's my experience with chasing. And then the next video I want to do is about plates, the driveway plates, and kind of what's been my experience with that. So until next time, everybody, take care.